Hello, everyone. I hope that we're live.
Hopefully.
If anyone's live with us, then let us know. We're using StreamYard for the first time. We're live streaming on YouTube, so hopefully everyone can hear us. If you can't hear us, then we're just going to make this update again.
Yeah, we'll record it and do it the usual way.
Not like we wouldn't do that before.
Yeah. So let's try that.
I'm Ondrejs, developer evangelist here at Kontent.ai. And with me is another Ondrejs, but you know us.
Hello, yeah. I'm the developer relations leader here at Kontent.ai. And today we are going to talk about August news, right?
Correct.
And we'll start the usual way so that we don't have everything new. So let's start with the content updates.
But first of all, if you don't know the name Kontent.ai, it's because we've just started a new journey of our company. And part of that is that we are actually called Kontent.ai. We're a content platform. So I'm actually wearing an outdated shirt. Ondrejs here is doing a much better job. Yeah. So this is the new name of the company. And with the new name comes a lot of new updates and interesting things that happened also in July and will happen in August. So, but back to the content update as Ondrejs proposed. We have a bunch of new content pieces this month. All of them were around composability. The composable DXP is such a big buzzword these days. So one of the articles, or do you want to start with the podcast?
Or we can start with the content itself.
Okay.
I can adjust.
One of the articles that was published is written by Andy Thompson from Luminary. He talks about what is composable DXP. Because a lot of people don't know what that term means. They just, use it as a buzzword. But composable DXP actually only points to a specific system architecture, if you want to call it that way. And Andy did a really great job in his article explaining whether composable DXP is actually something for you, or if you're looking for another system, based on what your organization you work for, how large it is, and so on. Now he's a CTO, so he's got a lot of knowledge in that area. As his agency, advises businesses on what systems they should use. So really, really nice piece. Did you find it already?
Yeah, I found it already. Yeah, you can take a look to the link in the comments. This is the article itself written by Andy Thompson. If you don't know him and you want to know a bit more about him, you can just open up this detail and reach out to him or know something about him itself.
And this article is also about choosing between Kentico Experience and Kontent.ai. So that's another article that's in the same series. So he first wrote about what is composable DXP, then he continued with the article where he talks about both platforms and when to use which. So very, very nice piece of content. And while we're talking about composability, there's another piece of content that Andy made with Brian, who is the host of the Content Rocks podcast. And in the new episode, they actually talk about client-side rendering. So that all kind of comes together. If client-side rendering that we all use in Jamstack sites, if that's a good for SEO is something that I wish to be. For CEO. SEO.
Yeah, I'm always confused by that. Yeah.
So search engine optimization. If client-side rendering is actually good, now I think that we've all been burned by this at some point in the past. So both guys actually share some nice stories that came out of their regular lives as business owners, CTOs, basically caring about their clients. So very, very nice episode of the Content Rocks podcast. Do you have it there?
Yeah, and cool. So we can again share the link to the description and a brief summary of the podcast. We will probably ruin the stream by trying to restream it. So this is the description, and we might move on to another content piece.
Sure, that one is from Matt Neild, for a change, another MVP. But he wrote about. Let me switch that here back so Ondrejs can prepare it. Mm-hmm. Now, what Matt did is he had to update a bunch of content types in bulk. So he wanted to add some functionality, and he had about 70 content types. So he had to come up with a script that would change everything. And he actually talks about the content CLI, how he wrote scripts for it, and he also shares the code pieces, I think. So we were actually taking very similar approach with our own site when we had to do bulk changes and so on. So this is very nice intro, I would say, into the field. Matt has also been active on YouTube. So if you're new to Content CLI, you want to learn more, then I would recommend his channel, where he has a few videos, beginner level videos, how to start with the CLI.
And you always get bored when you need to make a change on the multiple content types. After 2 or 3, you're okay, but once it's up to 5 or more than 5, you're getting bored. So this little piece of code will help you so much.
That's true, and I always break something when I do it manually. So this is much better. Now the next piece is from MMT Digital, an agency from the UK. Again, about composability, they talk about their clients and their experience with using a headless CMS. They talk about the benefits of the solution and how it benefited the organization as a whole. They, for example, say that their page times were improved by 5 times. And they talk also about flexibility, about ability of organizations to adapt to new challenges, and so on. Very nice read, and they featured my quote, so I have to promote it, of course.
Yeah, I'm promoting it right now. So if you want, you can
just let me add it to the stream. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
So you said that they enhanced the page load by how many?
5 times, actually.
5 times.
Yeah.
It was not
compared to a traditional system. So I think that's a big improvement, on the business side. So yeah, that's another piece. And is that it from content? Let me check the list.
And that brings us.
That's it, right?
To the end.
That brings us not to the end, to the start of a much more interesting update, which is the code update.
Yeah.
So tell me what's new on the code side. I'm just gonna switch this back.
Sure.
And we can go.
Let me just share the last link for the article so that you all know where to find it and read it in deep. We will probably edit the description after the stream, so
of course
you have all the links there as well. But if you want to have it live, you can do that this way. Around code, with the carve out and with establishing the new company of Kontent.ai. This brings basically the migration requirements for our packages, SDK, sample applications, and GitHub itself. So we started to do that. It's nothing really super interesting, but we want to make it clean and we want to make it final, so that we don't have something in the middle, which will be under new organization with a new name, but with old namespaces and old code and comments. And you probably all know that sometimes you skip some steps just to be efficient. But we decided, according to the GitHub and open source repository, to spend some time on it and make it right. So we started with JavaScript, which is one of our primary stacks. We already migrated our npm core packages from @Kentico/content something to @content-ai/something. This means that now you can use delivery SDK, management SDK, model generator, webhook helper, and backup manager with all the features that you are used to within the new npm organization. This is not so much of a change for you. You will just basically change the name of the package, and that's more or less it. Sometimes we just rename a couple of methods, but most of the time it's not a public API, so you won't be really affected.
We actually did that on our own site, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was a really seamless process. And we also bumped the model generator to a newer version, and it has really cool stuff. Like now it uses management API, and all of the things are now generated in separate files, so it really helps with the client bundle. A lot of great improvements. I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, and we are trying to do something similar in .NET. which brings me to the second part.
Cool.
And this is the current status or our current work. So we are trying to do the same we did with JavaScript on .NET platform. So we created a new NuGet organization called .NET Kontent.ai because you can't have a dot in the URL, of course. And we are migrating the SDKs. Currently, we have management and delivery SDKs already published in beta. We are finalizing the management SDK, the .NET generator. And once we have it, we can review the pull request with the features you already been talking about. So we're using the management SDK to create the models, which gives you basically much more information about the models, and you can do some stuff. And that point me out to the RFC that we have opened. So if you want, just go to the github.com/content-ai, find out the .NET model generator. And there is an issue that we are discussing how we can even extend the possibilities of the model generator by some configuration, mostly about linked items and their limitations, so that you know that you have enumerable versus just single item and this kind of things.
That's cool. Now, I'm interested in how you handle the cases for previews, because for previews it's not guaranteed that you get specific items. So I'm looking to look more closely at Blazor this year. So interested to see how you can handle that problem.
Yeah, we are trying to make it even a backward compatible. So you will get a separate partial class, which you can which you might or might not use. So if you have it in preview, you don't need to use it.
Right. Okay. Cool. Now, the fact is, this year in the fall, we plan to do a bit more .NET conferences than what we used to. You're probably going to also hear about us from a few .NET podcasts. So we're probably going to be working more on the .NET story, right?
Yeah, we are trying to cover it as we have been covering the JavaScript story for the last quarters. So now we are trying to focus more on .NET once we finish the migration. Because we still, after we finish the .NET and JavaScript, we still need to migrate the sample application, let's say the second level or second citizen tools. We need to migrate Gatsby integration, some sample applications that are not super important to have renamed, basically. But we first need to have the base to rename them, because you need the new packages just to migrate them. So these are the next steps that we will probably cover this quarter, and the next quarter we will focus on the .NET more.
Cool. And talking about .NET and conferences, we're also attending another conference in at the start of September. So can you tell people more about it and invite them, hopefully?
Yeah, sure. It's called Web Summer Camp. We have been there the first time last year with Ondrejs. And it was super interesting because there is a group of CMS experts. So it was our basically bullet shot, because we met a lot of experts in the CMS field. And this year we are able to make some time to set it up. And as a bonus, Ondrej has a talk there, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the actual title, so you might have some teaser about it, because we're still tweaking it out. But it will be at the end of the month. It's from I guess 30th of August.
No, it's we're leaving 30th, but the conference is 1st and 2nd September. It's in Croatia, so if you want to enjoy a bit last bits of the summer sun, then make sure to join us. Ondrej is going to show you where it is exactly. Now, my talk is going to be about Next.js and protecting the Next.js site from editors, marketers, and developers. So something that we have been actively working on for the past quarter or two. Definitely, but it's not just me. There's a bunch of very interesting faces. And I remember last year it was very nice also from the networking point of view. So definitely nice conference where you can meet us. So if you can, sign up and we'll meet you there. And I think that we're going to talk about the other conferences in the next month update.
Yeah, we'll finish it up. We'll set up the summaries.
So a lot more is coming in the fall. So stay tuned. And I think that wraps up today's update, right?
Yeah, I guess that's it. Or maybe, as you're used to in the developer newsletter, do you have some tips from developers that might not be super obvious from the application, or they might be hidden?
Last time, this surprised me a bit because I wasn't paying too much attention to the product backlog and to the new features that were being released, because come on, it's being released every 2 weeks. It's really hard to keep track because so many new updates are coming.
We have been on conferences. You have 2 or 3 days off.
Exactly.
And then you get back and so you see a list of new features.
And it was so much fun in Amsterdam on the React Summit.
Yeah.
But anyway, the tip. So I found out that we're able to create default values for elements. And I know that this has been pain in the past for the multiple choice elements. But now, even for multiple choice elements, you can define a default value. So it's clear to editor what is going on. It's pre-selected and everything is nice. So you can just open content type of your choice, check the elements that you want to change, and provide a default value. It's quite straightforward, but really improves the editor experience quite a bit.
Yeah, and maybe with that information, we'll point you out to the product changelog, because this is the place where you should see all the changes, and this is the place where we are going when we get back from vacation and see some news. So you just open it up and you see the changes by the category. So this is something which is pretty handy for the developer point of view. You can see the summary with useful links.
Right. And that really wraps up this update. So enjoy your vacations, enjoy the summer, and we'll meet you in Croatia in exactly a month.
That's true.
Right.
See you. Bye.
See ya. Bye.